All right, let's talk about walls for a minute, and specifically outside exterior wall sealing. I wanted to make sure that this trailer was watertight, and let me turn it. Got so I have. Well, first off, I was originally going to do these walls, if you remember from an earlier video or on my blog, that I was going to do just PMF, poor man's fiberglass, over the polystyrene. So these walls are, let's see if I can get down here where I can see. So this is 1x2 framing with 1.5 extruded polystyrene XPS foamular inside, if you remember, and then sandwiched between two layers of, this is 5mm hardwood ply. And originally I was just going to do poor man's fiberglass over just the 1x2 and the XPS for weight reasons, because the plywood obviously adds, it's about 100 pounds or something with all of the exterior and interior plywood. But that didn't really work because my tests, it had a little bit of warping, and not a lot, but just enough that it was problematic, because I'm going to have a top section. This is just the bottom section here, so it's 3 feet tall, and then there'll be another 36-inch or something top part that actually goes down over it with the electronic lift system is going to make the top come up and down. So it needed to be really square. So I didn't have any, a lot of leeway. So, I've got like a 1/2 inch gap. There's going to be trim here, and then a 1/2 inch gap, but it needs to be pretty square. So any warping was no good. So I ended up putting plywood on the inside and outside, but I still wanted it to be totally watertight. Because it is a travel trailer, so a lot of road spray and things like that. I've sealed the underside with Flex Seal undercoating and all that. But what I did is I took, so how you make PMF is it's basically just canvas. People use bed sheets, whatever, some kind of fabric that's just glued to whatever your your substrate is, and then painted with exterior paint. What I did, because I want it super tight and sealed and kind of heavy duty, is I took this, it's like a, I don't know what the coarseness of this is, but it's just some bulk canvas that I bought, just a roll of, from Amazon. It's like a medium to heavy kind of grade canvas, and I just got, single, like 10 yards or something, and just I started here, and I just wrapped it all the way around. It's one sheet going around the entire trailer, so it's completely sealed. And you can see, okay, the sun's really weird right now, so I can't see very well, but hopefully you can. There's again, this bar here is just in here temporarily to keep my door perfectly square while I'm finishing up all the cabinet work and getting this glued. Once this is all set up, this thing shouldn't move. Anyway, so it's canvas wrapped over the top, and I just stapled it, all along the top, all the way around, and I just, folded over the edges here, and this has been glued now, so you can't even really see the staples anymore. But in fact, I think I might have taken the staples out. Anyway, the canvas is hung over and then wrapped around the bottom, cut off, and I left a 2-inch or something and wrapped it around the bottom and stapled it down there. So it's basically just stretched around like a paint canvas, one big canvas. I didn't stretch it super tight, just snug, because it does shrink up once it gets wet. It is a fabric, so the canvas will shrink some, and that makes it a really super nice, tight seal. And so how you do it, there's 2 ways. I'll tell you how I did it. Is I hung the canvas on first, stapled it all down, so it's exactly where I wanted it to be and it wouldn't move. And then I took, I mixed Type Bond 2 wood glue with like about 1/2 and 1/2 water, just thinned it down, or maybe in a third, 2 to 1, something like that. I wasn't very accurate about it. I just mixed it till it was easy to get on. That helps it spread, helps it soak in, and keeps it from drying out while you're working on it. And I just rolled it on with a foam brush, foam roller. So with glue, and so the glue soaks in, and it's just slathered on really good, and it soaks through and seals to the seals to the plywood. And so you can see down here, I've cut it off here now after I had this wrapped around, but I cut that off. But you can see that it's just, it's really hard. It's a single fused piece now. So this has now been glued. And then I took, over here I used this, well, there's the Type Bond 2 glue, and then I used some gripper paint for once the premium wood glue layer was set up and dried over 24 hours. I took the gripper paint and put a coat of that on there, and that acts both like another coat of glue, but also as an undercoat for your primer for your paint, top coat. And then now I'm using this Rust-Oleum topside. It's a boat paint, marine boat paint, and I'm doing sand beige. And that's what color it is right now. I've got some, sorry, I'll show you here. I've got some of these cool little decorative little sponge brush things. I've got some sort of rust color and some kind of ochre yellow color paint of this top side also. So I'm going to do some kind of decorative painting on this once I'm done. So that's where I am now. It's just got, let me show you over here. Probably see better. Okay, so this is where my shower, my water inlet, and then my water heater. There's the pieces down there. Water heater goes there. Got a door over there. You can see here a little better. There's the the framing, plywood inside. Here's where it's just stapled around, and the XPS crammed in there, and pieces of that. This is inset, so my water fixtures can just be flush up against there, and I wrap that around and cut them and stapled them in real nice so that they create just a 1/4 inch inset for these, where these lips on these are going to set in, if you can see that down there, and those will fit right in flush so that the top can come down over and not bind up on anything. And then with all the openings, once it was done, I just cut them off. Because it's all glued on now, so I just cut these off, and then there'll be a door here, and I'll probably put a piece of trim on the inside, and I got latches and whatnot. But anyway, so that's the first top coat, and I'll probably put, like I said, one more top coat, and then I'll do some decorative painting on it as well. But that's pretty much what the wall's made of. I think if I can get down here, just wanted to show you like underneath here, if I can get down. So here's the underside. You can see that so this is all sealed with Flex Seal rubberized undercoating under here, and then here's the canvas wrapped over it and stapled, and then I just I glued it. But then once it was dry, instead of putting the paint on, I just put some more Flex Seal over the top of that, and then again there'll be trim along the edge, and I'll maybe touch that up a little bit. But that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So next thing to do will be finish the inside cabinets, and then I'll start working on the top section. So anyway, hope that's interesting or useful, or if you're trying to do some of this yourself, you might, the one thing I was going to mention is you can actually, instead of the way I did this, a lot of people, what they do is they'll actually paint the glue. When they hang the canvas, they'll paint the glue on first and then put the canvas on to make sure it sticks. But I haven't ever tried doing that. I just used this with the glue over the top. So anyway, that's how I did it. It seemed to work, so hope that helps. Bye.